Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In Hope's cabin, Hope participated that she would read everything she could about Emma's accident and flashed back that the police had said there had been no substantiations. "You saw Emma's auto go off the road, and you said nothing?" she asked, adding, "You were following her." Thomas said that he and Emma had been trying to get to Hope. "To this day, I'm still affrighted about that night," Thomas replied. Hope stated that Thomas was admitting what numerous had suspected: he would been on Mulholland Drive the night Emma had failed. Thomas claimed that he would abominated keeping the verity from Hope and claimed he'd wanted to tell her numerous times, but had been alarmed that it would set them back. Thomas added that nothing had changed, Emma's death was an accident. Still, he rued not being open with Hope. He repeated that he would seen the auto go off the road, but he claimed that he was not a killer. Hope asked Thomas if the only reason he was telling her about the accident was because Xander was back. Thomas said Xander had been the catalyst. Thomas said he didn't want any secrets between them if they were to have a life together. Hope asked Thomas to explain it again. Thomas stated that he and Emma had argued because she would demanded that he tell Hope about Beth. Thomas claimed he would try to reason with Emma and get her to see what it would do to Steffi, who loved Phoebe. Just demanded further time, but she wouldn't hear, he stated. Thomas said Emma had been going to tell Hope, and he would try to stop her. Emma had hopped in her auto, and Thomas had allowed. He would be suitable to get her to pull over. He concluded that Emma had been trying to call or text Hope. He claimed he would honk to get Emma to decelerate down. He said Emma's head had gone down, and he would assumed she would been reaching for commodity. He claimed that was when she would lost control, missed the turn, and crashed through the rail. Thomas claimed no bone would have survived, and he would had agonies about it. "I hear swerving and the thickets. And also not being suitable to do anything. I am visited by it," he claimed. He swore that he would been there, but he had not killed Emma. Thomas stated that it felt as if he was talking about the conduct of a foreigner who'd done deceived effects because he would wanted to spend his life with Hope. Thomas claimed to have fully turned around due to Hope's understanding and support. He stated that he could easily see the once man's egoism. He said that man would no way return. Thomas admitted that he would prevaricated and handled everything each arrived back also. He said he should have told Hope about Beth, but he would been caught up in his own fear. He did not want further secrets between them, and he did not want them to suppose of that night again. Emma was gone, and in his mind, that was the real tragedy. "But cannot we just concentrate on our own life and own future together?" he asked. Hope replied that she had to suppose about it. Thomas stated that nothing had to change. She responded that he would chased Emma and seen her go off the road. Emma, who'd been Hope's friend, had failed trying to tell Hope the verity about Beth. Hope added that she did believe that he was telling the verity. Thomas thanked her. Thomas said he abominated to bring up painful recollections. He said he had not wanted Emma to die. He noted that Hope was dissatisfied in him, and he was dissatisfied in himself. Thomas said he would loved her back also, but it had been muddled up. His present love was healthier. "Thomas, we can talk about that another time," Hope decided. Thomas said she did not have to accept who he would been, but he wanted her to believe in who he'd come. He was committed to being the man she merited and could truly love. He said she would changed him from the man who'd done those terrible effects into someone she was able of loving. Thomas wanted to be a good father, hubby, developer, and man for her. Thomas swore that there were no further secrets. He said that if she could not forgive him, she could tell him that she believed he was a different and better man than ahead. He asked her to say she knew he would changed. He felt that he would set up maturity, confidence, and true love because of her. He swore that it was not in preoccupation. He just loved her. He wanted the world to fate who they were, and he wanted to prove how good he could be. He said she was wearing the ring on her neck, and it represented who he was that day as well as the life he wanted to partake with her ever. He asked her not to give up on him or them. In Finn's office, Steffi claimed that Emma's death had been a terrible accident. She was certain her family had changed and learned from his miscalculations. Finn rolled his eyes as Steffi assured him that Thomas was not a peril to anyone. Finn noted that Thomas was Steffi's big family, and she would spend her life looking up to him. Steffi replied that, in a way, Thomas's miscalculations had hurt her further than anyone. Finn fooled that Thomas had hurt someone differently a lot further. Finn recalled how unsettling it had all been for Xander, who had a natural aversion to indeed Thomas's name. Steffi prompted her hubby not to hear to Xander, but rather, to hear to her. Finn said he did not want to believe it. Steffi asserted her belief that Xander, who'd been close to Emma, demanded to condemn someone. Finn replied that Thomas had hovered Xander. She stated that Finn knew Thomas had done dark effects in the history, but Thomas wouldn't hide commodity as horrible as a crime. In Steffi's mind, Xander had grounded everything on the man Thomas had been without knowing how Thomas had changed. She claimed that indeed at Thomas's worst, he had not been sanguine. Finn reasoned that Thomas had been hopeless, and Finn knew how Thomas was if he felt that someone would get between him and hope. Finn recalled how Thomas had replied when Finn had said Thomas and Hope should no way be together. Steffi asked if Thomas had ever been violent or made Finn feel as if he would been in peril. Finn said it had no way happened. Steffi did not know why Finn wanted to dig up the history rather of hearkening to his instincts or his woman. She claimed that she was not giving Thomas the benefit of the mistrustfulness just because he was family, and she claimed that Finn put his faith in her. Finn hugged Steffi. He told her that if she demanded him to let it go, he would. She asked if he would let it go. Finn replied that if it was causing her that much stress, he'd let it go. Steffi said it was okay if she and Finn dissented. Wanting to remain unified, Finn said he admired that Thomas and Steffi were siblings, and he would promise not to let anything get between them again. Steffi was happy to hear that, and she and Finn agreed that they did not need to look for further fermentation. Finn said he just wanted a peaceful family, Thomas included. Steffi noted that Finn would do anything for her. She wondered how she would gotten so lucky. Finn replied that it was not luck, it was fidelity, commitment, and trust. She added, passion. Steffi uttered that she would keep him in bed until the sun rose. She said she felt thankful for him. They kissed. The other thing about resurrecting this particular bit of history is that it serves to remind everyone, including viewers, of another troubling factor in the Thomas/Hope relationship. The reason he was chasing Emma that night was specifically because he wanted to keep the truth about Hope and Liam's daughter from coming to light. Thomas Hope, B&B. We all knew that, in the back of our minds. It was a major stumbling block the show had to get over in order for Thomas and Hope to work as a couple. As someone who is pretty well known for refusing to brush aside major sins of the past just for the sake of pairing two characters, see also my long-standing belief young and restless Sharon and Adam can never be together for similar reasons, it shocked me that Thomas/Hope eventually won me over. And then came the decision to revisit Emma's death, thrown upon the pairing like a bucket of cold water. Because in reality, no woman would ever in a million years get involved with someone who had anything to do with letting her believe, even for a moment, that her child died. Period. And yes, this is where many will shout, but this isn't real life, it's a soap. Which is 100% true, and why I remain torn by this storyline in the best way possible. Given how much this show loves to rush people down the aisle, I have a feeling that Thomas and Hope might be heading for a February sweeps wedding. Would that be way too quick? Sure. But it would also create a whole lot of drama as everyone from Brooke to Liam tried preventing the would-be weds from saying I do.